Welcome back to The Bike Life with Corey and Dave. Today's episode is about cleaning and oiling your chain.
Because remember, a clean chain is a happy chain.
Here's a quick look at some of the products we use to maintain our chains. Bio-degreaser, that's great for spraying it on and leave it for a few minutes, spray it off. If your things are really mucked up, you might need a toothbrush to get rid of it. A hose to spray it off. A towel to dry your chain. When it comes time for lubricant, here's some products we like. Tri-Flow, this one's good in dry conditions. Unfortunately, has Teflon, bad for the environment. This one is a wet lube if things are kind of mucky in the fall. And this one's interesting. This one's made right here in Whistler, a biodegradable dry chain lube. Whether you're riding on pavement, dirt roads, or even through mud puddles, keeping your chain clean keeps the ride quiet, shifting smooth, and extends the lifespan of your chain. But how do I know when it's time to clean my chain? Well, when it looks like this. Here's a dry chain that's desperately in need of lube. Here's one that's pretty dirty. It needs to be cleaned and then lubed. This rusty one, I doubt it'll come to this because your KMC chain is corrosion resistant. Step one is to use a degreaser to clean all the old dirt and oil off the chain. And if you do this regularly, you can skip having to scrub the chain with a toothbrush. Our goal here is to cover the entire chain, even the front sprocket and the back sprockets, with degreaser so that we can let it sit for a few minutes and spray it off. But as you can see, on an e-bike you can't pedal the chain backwards to advance it, so we're going to show you a tip that we like. With the bike on flat ground, the kickstand down, put the bike into its easiest gear, gear number 1. You can tilt it ever so slightly away from you. That'll raise the back tire and allow you to advance the chain. So, we'll spray it bit by bit, advance the chain, and when the entire chain is covered and the cogs, we'll let it sit for 5 minutes, and then we'll spray it off. And now for the fun part, spraying off the degreaser with your hose. Now it's dripping wet. For best results, before we oil the chain, we need to let it dry. You can either let it dry in the air or use a rag. Now that the chain's dry, it's time to apply some lube. So we'll do one section at a time and advance the chain until the whole chain is covered in oil. And when we're finished, we'll wipe off the excess with a rag. There we are, folks. Happy riding.